Hey guys, please make sure you open your notes to this page. It should say day 2. We're going to determine whether the graphs of any of the equations are parallel or perpendicular. So from yesterday's lesson, parallel lines have the same slope and perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. So we need to keep that in mind today. OR stands for opposite reciprocals. So in each one of these equations, we need to write them in y equals mx plus b first so that we can identify the slope pretty easily. So I'm going to color code each one of these equations. We're going to start with the first one, 2x plus y equals negative 7. In order to get this one in y equals mx plus b form, I need to subtract the 2x to the other side. This is going to be y equals negative 2x minus 7, and the slope is a negative 2 so far. The next one is x minus 2y equals negative 4. There's two things that need to happen. I need to subtract the x to the other side first. So you get negative 2y equals negative x minus 4, and then divide all three pieces by a negative 2. And you end up with y equals negative over a negative is a positive, so this is like 1/2 x plus 2. And the slope here would be a half. Finally, that third equation is going to be 4x minus y equals 5. I'm going to subtract the 4x to the other side first. Get negative y equals negative 4x plus 5 and divide everything by a negative 1. And you end up with y equals a positive 4x minus 5. So the slope here is a 4. So looking at these three, I can tell that none of the slopes are the same. Okay, you had a negative 2 in the green equation, a 1/2 in the pink, and a 4 in the blue. So those are all different. So none of these lines are parallel. However, I can tell that the green and the pink ones, a negative 2 and a positive 1/2, are opposite reciprocals. So that means the first two equations are perpendicular. I'll just circle these two. I'm going to use this notation. That means perpendicular. Or you can write out that word. Next example. I have three equations again. Y equals 3x. We don't have to do anything for that. 3 is your slope. It's already in slope-intercept form. The second one, I'm going to rewrite. Subtract 6x to the other side. You get negative 2y equals negative 6x plus 7. Divide everything by a negative 2. Y is a positive 3x minus 7/2. So that has a slope of 3. And the last one, 3y equals 9x minus 1. I don't have to bring the x over. The x is already on the right side, but I do have to divide everything by a 3. So this ends up being y equals 3x minus a third. And this slope is 3. So you can see here the slope of the first one's 3, the second one's 3, the third one is 3. Those slopes are all the same, meaning all three equations are parallel. And we have one more underneath that. We're going to do the same thing. Two of them we don't have to do any work for, but the first one, we do have to rewrite this first one in slope-intercept form. So we're going to subtract 6x over to the other side. And divide everything by a -2. y equals 3x plus 1. The middle one is y equals 3x minus 4. That's already in slope-intercept form. And the last one is y equals 4. Okay. Think of that one as being y equals 0x plus 4 because 0x means 0. So we got a slope with 3, we got a slope with 3, and we got a slope of 0. So that means these first two have the same slope. So these are parallel. So it's really important you know how to solve an equation for y because that's what we're going to be doing all day today. Okay? If you look at the next slide, you're going to see something that looks like this in your notes. So write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the graph of the given equation. So I'm going to do the top left one where you see the 3, 1 as the class example. And then you need to number these other ones. This box needs to be numbered 9, this one's 10, and this one's 11. So please number that on your paper because that's half of the assignment to finish up the Mystery Santa's Bag activity. So I'm going to do this first one. 3, 1 is our xy. We need to figure out the slope of this equation. So we need to solve this equation for y. Right, kind of small because we're going to be writing a lot up here. To solve this for y, you have to subtract 2x to the other side. And y is negative 2x plus 5. Now negative 2 is my slope, and the slope I want is parallel, so I need the same slope. So I'm going to use a 2, and this ordered pair, x1, or 3, 1, sorry, to write my new equation for this line. So let me switch colors here. So I'm going to start with y equals mx plus b. Y is a 1 from the ordered pair, the same slope. Oh, I made a little mistake here. That should have been a negative 2. The same slope from the line is a negative 2. The x value from the ordered pair is a 3 plus b. So this ends up being 1 equals negative 6 plus b. And if you add 6 to both sides, you get that b is 7. So my final equation is y equals negative 2x plus 7. So you need to solve these equations for y first, and you're kind of like using the same slope from that line with the new ordered pair to create a new equation. Okay. So you could tell that this blue equation right here and this orange one are parallel. They have the same slope but a different y-intercept. So you need to do that same thing with 9, 10, and 11, and then find your answers on the Santa paper. And then the next sheet, I'm going to do again the top left-hand corner. This page is now perpendicular. So make sure you are looking for the opposite reciprocal slope and number this box 12, this box 13, and this 14. And that will finish up your Santa Bag worksheet. So let's try the one in the top left-hand corner. The 0, 1 is your xy. I'm trying to figure out which m value to use. So again, we need to solve for y. So you're going to subtract the x over. You get 5y equals negative x plus 15. Divide everything by a 5. Y equals a negative 1/5 x plus 3. Now the slope of this line is a negative 1/5. We need the opposite reciprocal to negative 1/5, which would be a positive 5. So that is my new slope that I'm going to use in the second part of this problem. So I'm going to start with y equals mx plus b. My slope for m is 5. My x value from the ordered pair was 0. My y value is a 1. 5 times 0 is 0. So that means b is 1. So with b is 1 and m equals 5, you're writing your final equation, which is y equals 5x plus 1. So now this pink equation and this blue one have opposite reciprocal slopes and different y-intercepts. So you need to finish 12, 13, and 14 on that paper. So your homework now is to just work on 9 through 14. If you're really struggling, ask someone in the class who gets it. And also to make sure you're listening to the video, I'm going to be hiding 3 pictures of Buddy the Elf for class tomorrow. And if you are one of the 3 people to find them, you'll get a special treat from me, okay?